Hey everybody, welcome to game number 80 in the Chicago White Sox replay. And today we cross paths with the Bird. Mark the Bird Fydrich is on the hill for the Tigers as we start game one of a 3-game set at Tiger Stadium. Unfortunately, I did record the first game of the Seattle series, but somehow the recording got messed up and got lost, so wasn't able to do that. It was an exciting game. Actually, the White Sox took a bit of a nosedive and lost 2 of 3 to the Mariners on the West Coast. They did salvage the last game, but it wasn't easy. So now we are at game 80, and it's the first game of the Tiger series. It'll be Chris Knapp going for the White Sox against Mark the Bird Fydrich for the Tigers. There is one card for the Tigers that I do not have a card for, one player that's in this game, and that is Mark Fydrich's personal catcher, Bruce Kim. But in its place, I do have the player app. And as you can see on Bruce Kim's card, he has no hits on his own card. He's got a couple hit by pitches. He has one possibility on a 3-8 split chance for a double, but other than that, he's pretty much out all the time. He hit, I believe it was 080 or something like that. So wasn't very good. He was a good defender. He's a -1 arm, but as far as offensive threat, he's not really one. He is a 4 catcher, -1 arm, E16 with a T20. So if there's a throwing error check, he's automatically going to make the throwing error. All right, let's go through the starting lineups very quickly. First for the White Sox, it'll be Ralph Garr leading things off in left field. Alan Bannister, the shortstop, will hit second. George Orta at second will hit third. Richie Zisk is in right field. He will bat cleanup. Oscar Gamble's still in center field. There's still a problem with Chet Lemon, so Gamble with his 5 E rating in center, and that really cost him in Seattle. A lot of balls fell in the gap and allowed some singles and doubles, so you get the offense, but you live with the bad defense. Lamar Johnson is the DH. He will hit 6th. He will hit 5th. Check that 6th. Jim Spencer, the first baseman, will hit 7th. I'm not sure why he's so far down the order, but maybe just coming off an injury, they wanted to bring him back slowly. Eric Soderholm's at 3rd. He will hit 8th, and Jim Essing, the catcher, will bat 9th. For the Tigers, leading things off will be Ron LaFleur in center. Tito Fuentes is at second base. He will hit 2nd. Rusty Staub, the DH, will hit 3rd. And you can see on his card he has no defensive rating, so he's only a DH. Steve Kemp in left will bat cleanup. Jason Thompson at first will hit 5th. Ben Ogilvie in right field will hit 6th. Tom Verizor, the shortstop, will bat 7th. Chuck Scribner at third base will hit 8th. And, of course, Bruce Kim will bat 9th. And I'm using a Jack Morris card as a placeholder, so I'd make sure that when I get to that card, I know to go to the app to look at what's going on. So with those preliminaries out of the way, let's bring in the scorebook and the dice with the dice tray and see if we can get the cards and everything else fit in properly. It's always a little bit of adjustment the first time around until I get everything set up the way I think it should be. All right, so I think we're ready to go. Let's make sure we got the cards where you can see them. Yep, there's Mark Fydrich and Ralph Garr. And on the season, Fydrich in 77, 6-4 with a 2.89 ERA, so pretty good year. Not as good as 76, obviously, but still pretty good. But of course, cut short by injuries. All right, so again, advanced only with super advanced fielding. And leading things off will be the left fielder, Ralph Garr. And this is game number 80. Was played on July the 8th, 1977. Here at Tiger Stadium, but we're not using ballpark effects. 3-8. 3-8 for Garr, and that's going to be a single to right field. So leadoff single for Ralph Garr. Good start for the White Sox against Fydrich. Garr is a C stealer. He will be held, but he will not run. They're not going to take that chance. Kim does have a -1 arm. And as a C stealer, he'd be 11, -3, being held as 8, -1's a 7. He has 1 through 7 chance to make it, so not good. So here's Bannister. 2-5 for Bannister, and that's a fly to left. And that's 1 away. Now here's Orta. And we may hit and run here because with the first baseman holding on, he's a hit and run B. That's going to make him a hit and run A with the runner being held. So we'll go to our advanced hit and run chart. Right here, advanced hit and run as an A. So we're going to be looking at the A column. roll 2d6s and see what happens on this hit and run. I don't usually do a lot of hit and runs, but thought this one might be a good chance to do it. It's a 9. So it's an a 9, ground ball to shortstop, batter is safe, lead runner is out. So even on the hit and run, it was hit right to second base, so it kind of led the fielder right to the force play. So that kind of defeated the purpose of what they were trying to do. It ends up being a fielder's choice, 6 unassisted at second base. So now there's 2 outs with the order aboard. He's a D stealer. He will not be held. And here's Richie Zisk. It's a 4-12 off of Fydrich. It's a ground ball first base X. That's Jason Thompson. And Thompson is a 4, E16. So a little bit of a difficulty in the field. See if Zisk can sneak it by him. 4 and a 10. I think he will get to that. He will. It's a G3. There's a 7, and he's an E16. E16, there is no 7. It's 11, 12, and 16, but no 7. So Thompson makes the play, and the inning is over. Sox come up empty. See if I can put this on here so I can get the score, the line score on here as much as possible. Kind of tough to fit everything, but I'll do what I can. All right, so Fydrich gets through the inning unscathed. Go to the bottom of the first. It'll be Chris Knapp taking on Ron LaFleur. And I'm going to have to suffer some of this stuff because it's just not going to all fit. I'll do what I can early on. But if I want to use this dice tray, that kind of takes up a lot of space. And I do want to use the dice tray. So, all right, so here we go. Chris Knapp, Ron LaFleur. It's a bumped into my coffee mug there. All right, here we go. 4-12 for Knapp against a right-hander, and that's a solid single to left field for Ron LaFleur. So both teams lead off singles. LaFleur is looking to run. He's an A stealer, -2 for being held, and Essien's a 0 arm. So the aggregate on that is an A stealer, means he's a 13, 1-13. So they're going to try it, 1-13, to see if he can make it to second base. And he does, and it's also a 2, so we got a throwing error check on the catcher Essien. And his T rating is T7, so a 1-7 will be a throwing error, and LaFleur will take third. It's a 19, so no throwing error, but LaFleur does get the stolen base. So he's in scoring position right away. Nobody out for the switch hitting Tito Fuentes. He's looking to pull one to the right side of the infield to move the runner. 5-6, he will not do it. It's a strikeout. Chris Knapp gets the strikeout. 1 away. Brings up Rusty Staub. Dangerous Rusty Staub. Even in his old years, 278, 22 home runs, and 101 RBIs. Great trade the Tigers made, trading Lolich to the Mets for Staub in 77. 76 may have been. I think it was 76 they traded him. All right, 3-7 for Staub. It's a fly to center. That's going to be out number 2. So 2 down, and that's going to bring up Kemp. Last chance for the Tigers. Steve Kemp. 6-8, and Kemp does it. 6-8, 1-10 is a triple. 11-20 is a double, so obviously the run will score. Just a matter if it's a triple or a double. It's actually a triple for Kemp into the gap in spacious Tiger Stadium. In that center field gap, it's an RBI triple. And the Tigers take a 1-0 lead on the Steve Kemp triple. Brings up another dangerous lefty, Jason Thompson. 2-10 for Thompson. He's going to ground to order at second, and that's going to end the inning. But the Tigers pick up a run, and after 1 complete, it is Detroit 1 and Chicago 0. And the Bird, given a 1-run lead to work with, will be facing Oscar Gamble. Now, Lemon is still on the active roster. He's just not been in the lineup for 3 or 4 days, so I don't know if he could be available for defensive purposes or pinch hitting. I'm assuming not, since he didn't play. If he was that healthy, he'd been starting. So, I'm going to just have to stick it out with Oscar Gamble, I guess. Here we go. It's a 2-8 against a right-hander. That's a 1 for a double. 2-20 is a single. So you get the offense with Gamble. You just got to give up something defensively. And that's a single for Oscar Gamble. Start things off with this leadoff single. Brings up Lamar Johnson, the DH. Although the bad part with Lamar Johnson, he's loaded with ground ball A's. So he's definitely a threat to hit into a double play. Gamble's an E stealer. He will not be held, so the hit and run's not going to help him there. 3-9, 3-9, and he certainly did it. Ground ball shortstop A right there. 3-9, 6-4-3 double play. And that's what you get. You take the good with the bad. You get the power, but you also get the double play chances. And that quickly is 2 away for Jim Spencer. Power hitting first baseman. 5-7 for Fydrich against the lefty. Struck him out. So Fydrich gets the K on Spencer. And at the end of an inning and a half, it is still 1-0 Tigers here at Tiger Stadium. And here's Ben Ogilvy, who later became more prominent with the Brewers in the early 80s. He will be on there leading things off for the Tigers as the right fielder. Really, you only need to see the right-hand side of the batter card because they're facing a right-hander, so we don't need to look at the blue part if you want to really get down to details. All right, so we got a 4-8 Knapp against a lefty. 4-8 is a ground ball second base X. That's Orta. It's a 4-E-23, and the D6 combo he's got to avoid is an 11. And he did. He got a 10. He just missed it, so that's a good play. 17. That's an easy ground ball out to Orta. 1 away. His only error on that check is an 11, and he just rolled a 10, so came up very close. Just was able to make the play. Here's Verizor, shortstop. 6-8, 6-8. That's a solid double off Chris Knapp. 6-8 and 6-9 are not good for his column 3, and that is a 1-out double. The shortstop Tom Verizor brings up Chuck Scrivener. Kind of unusual why he's playing third and not Mankowski, but whatever. Scrivener hit .083 on the season in 72 at bats, so not looking for a whole lot of offense there. He's a pretty decent defender. Well, not really. He's a 3E65, so I'm not sure why he's there, to be honest with you. 1-6 is a fly to center, and that's 2 away. Apparently Ralph Houck thought something of him. I don't know. All right, so now we're down to Bruce Kim, the number 9 hitter in the order. So we're going to the app, assuming the roll is on the batter's card. So we'll roll, and if it comes up on the batter's card, we'll look at Kim. And it does. 3-10. 3-10 is a strikeout. So Kim down on strikes. And that's going to end the inning. So at the end of 2, it is the Tigers 1. And Sox nothing. Fydrich back out. He's got a starter rating of 9. He's not going to get tired at all until the 9th inning. So unless he gives up a lot of runs, which is probably not likely to happen. So here's Soderholm. And again, the only thing we need to look at is this red side because he's facing a righty. So I don't have to worry about getting the whole card into view, just the right side of the card. That's all that matters. In fact, I'll do it like this so the blue is not distracting. 6-9, 6-9 against Fydrich is a ground ball shortstop X. That is going to be Verizor. And we'll look at Verizor's defensive prowess. He is a 3E27. Oops, 327. And we get a 3 and a 3. And that's going to be a base hit. And it's also a 5. So a single with a rare play with a runner on first base. No, there's nobody on first base, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just a leadoff single for Soderholm. So it would have hit the base runner had it been a runner on, but that's not the situation. So merely a leadoff single. And here is, let's see here, Soderholm is a D stealer. He will not be held. Here is Jim Essien, catcher. 5-5. It's a fly ball to left. That's going to be handled out there by Kemp. 1 away. And we go back to the top of the order for Ralph Garr. Ralph Garr. 4-11. 4-11 is a fly to center. That's handled by LaFleur. 2 down. And that'll bring up Alan Bannister. 2 outs and the runner still at first base. Bannister. 2-11 for Bannister. Grounder to first. Thompson's got it. Inning's over. So he steps on the bag for the easy play. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. is still 1-0 favor of the Tigers. And LaFleur will lead things off as we're back to the top of the order for the Tigers. Ron LaFleur. 4-8, 4-8. A 1 to 11 is a single. 12 to 20, Soderholm will get it. It is a 15, so Soderholm snags it. Prevents that base hit, so 1 away. Keeps LaFleur off the bases, which is a good thing if you're the Sox, because he was a threat to steal, of course. Here's Fuentes, 3-7 for Fuentes, a ground ball to short. And that's 2 away. So 2 down. And that brings up Rusty Staub. 2 outs, bases empty. Good time to face Staub. 3-2, ground ball to second base plus injury. But of course, we're not doing injuries, so simply a ground ball to second to end the inning. So 3 innings are in the books. It is still 1-0 favor the Tigers. Chris Knapp holding his own against the Bird. And here's George Orta to lead us off here in the top of the 4th. It'll be Orta, Zisk, and Gamble. 5-12. Ground ball first base X. That is Jason Thompson. He is a 4, E16. 4-2. That's going to get through for a base hit for sure. Single 2 stars all the way. E16 and a 13. I think he's okay on that. Yep, 12 and 11 are errors, but not a 13. So it's just going to be a single. Leadoff single for George Orta. And the leadoff man has gotten on each inning for the Sox, but it hasn't produced any runs. Now Orta is a D stealer. He will not be held. Here's Richie Zisk. 3-9 for Zisk. Struck him out. So Zisk down on strikes. Brings up Oscar Gamble. Oscar Gamble singled and was eliminated on a double play his first trip. 3-10. He's going to foul to Kim behind the plate, and that's 2 down. So it's up to Lamar Johnson, the DH, to get it done. 5-6 off the Bird, struck him out. The Bird is the word so far through 4 innings. He has shut out the Southside Hitmen through 4. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is still 1-0 Tigers here in game number 80 of the season. Sox come in 44 and 35. Tigers come in 39 and 41. All right, here's Kemp against Knapp. 6-6, and that's a leadoff walk against the left-hander Kemp, who tripled his first trip. This time he walks. It's a D stealer. He will not be held. And Jason Thompson's a pretty good, well, actually he's a fly ball hitter, so not very good double play chance. 6-7. Knapp, that's a fly to center. So that is out number 1. Big out there to get. Brings up Ogilvy. Ben Ogilvy. Grounded to second his first trip. 6-8 against a lefty. And when he found that big hit that Kemp found last time, that 6-8 column, 1 to 10 is a triple, 11 to 20 is a double. So 1 to 10 run score is guaranteed. 11 to 20, we got to find out. It's an 8. That's a triple, so that will score the run all the way from first. Kemp will come in. It's 2-0 Tigers on the triple by Ben Ogilvy, and that's 2 triples off a Knapp, and both of those triples coming off that 6-8 column, 1 through 10. So that's been the bugaboo for Chris Knapp in this game. So now runner at third, 1 out. They're going to bring the infield in to face Tom Verizor. Got to choke that run off. 4-9, struck him out. That's a big strikeout to get. So now you're getting to the bottom of the order for the weaker hitters. Now here's Scrivener. So pretty good chance if you can get it off Scrivener's card that you'll end the inning. But they don't. It's off the pitcher card. 5-10. It's ground ball shortstop X. That's trouble because that Spanisher, he's a 4E48, and any error will bring the run home. 13, 4 and 13. He'll get to that. It's an 8. Is an error on a 40. Let's see. Double check his. I think he's E48 if I remember correctly. Yep, E48. E48, and we got an 8. E48. There is no 8. So he manages to sneak that through and get that ball over to Spencer to end the inning, prevent the run from scoring. But 1 run does score on the RBI triple by Ogilvy at the end of 4. It is the Tigers now leading 2-0 over the Southside Hitmen, who aren't hitting very much here against the Bird. Bird has kind of silenced their bats. Here's Spencer to start the 5th. Jim Spencer. 3-8 for Spencer. He's going to pop it up to first. And that's one away. Handled by Thompson. And that brings up Soderholm. Soderholm was the hero of the Seattle game, hitting a home run in extra innings to win it after they blew a big lead. 5-6 off of Fydrich, struck him out. Fydrich just dominating so far. And here's Essien, number 9 hitter, 1-4. He'll draw a walk, so a 2-out walk to Essien. Keeps the inning going. He is an E-stealer. He will not be held. And Ralph Garr, the batter. 3-5, and Garr does some damage here. 1-6 is a triple. 7-20 is a double. If he can get the triple, he'll score the run. 7-20, I don't know that Essien will make it because he's such a slow runner. But we'll check it out. 1-6 is a triple. And it's a 19, so it's a double. So now we got to do some calculations to see if Essien can score. There are 2 outs, so he does get a boost. He was not being held. He gets another boost. That's +3. He's an 11. +3 makes it a 14. But then the center fielder arm, LaFleur, his arm is a 0, so that's not going to change anything. So it's a 1-14 chance for Essien to score. They're going to go ahead and send him. And he's out, 16, so he's got thrown out trying to score. It's just the way it's been for the White Sox. Call it 8-6-2. But the way Fydrich is pitching, you had to take that chance. And the odds were in your favor, but just didn't work out. So a double and the inning's over. How about that? So we go to the bottom of the 5th. And it is still 2-0. And Bruce Kim will step up to lead things off. So we got the player app handy if needed. But if it's off Knapp's card, you don't have to worry about it. And of course, anytime I do that, it's always off the batter card, which makes me have to come out and check the app. So it's a 1-4. 1-4 is a ground ball to short on Kim's card. So ground ball to short, handled easily by Bannister, 1 away. And now we're back to the top of the order and Ron LaFleur. LaFleur single, stole a base, and lined to Soderholm. First trip. First 2 trips, rather. 4-8. 1-11 is a single. He's going to get the same chance he had last time. 11 through 20. I'm sorry, 1 through 11 he will single. 12 through 20, and Soderholm will get him again. And Soderholm nails him again, so robs him twice. Soderholm putting a Ken Keltner on LaFleur there. So 2 down. Base is empty. For Fuentes, 6'9", switch hitter batting left. 6'9", that's a home run chance, but he does have weak power. So 1-6 is a single. 7-20 will be a double. Whoops, that wasn't a good roll, was it? Boy, I just missed that completely. Let's try that again. 12. 12 is a double. So 2-out double by Fuentes. Puts the runner in scoring position for Rusty Staub, the dangerous Rusty Staub. But you can't walk him because you got Kemp next, and Kemp's already tripled. So Staub's 0 for 2, so maybe they can control him here. 5-9, ground ball, shortstop X again. That's dangerous. 4E48 for Mr. Bannister. So living on dangerous times. 4-13, he'll get to that. That's an 11. E48, there's a 12, but no 11, so good play. Bannister ekes it out. Nothing on the board, so through 5 complete, it is the Tigers still leading 2-0. Now, Chris Knapp, that was his point of weakness inning, number 5. He gave up a double, so he's still good for at least a couple more outs. So Bannister will lead things off against the Bird. Bannister 0 for 2, fly to left and grounded to first. 3-3, he's going to get a single to center field to start things off. And again, that's now 5 out of 6 innings that the Sox leadoff man has gotten on. Hasn't helped him much, though. Bannister is a D-stealer. He will not be held. So here's the order. 2-7 for Orta, and that's a single to left field, so that's going to put runners at first and second. So that's the first time we've had 2 runners back-to-back on base with nobody out for the Sox. We can get something going here. Richie Zisk, one swing of the bat could give the Sox the lead. Could also hit into a double play. No runners are being held. 3-12. That's a walk. That's going to load the bases. So they're getting to Fydrich here in the 6th. The bases are now loaded with Gamble, Johnson, and Spencer coming up. So the dangerous hitter is coming up for the Sox. The Tigers are going to play the infield at double play depth. They'll give up the run to get the outs. Here's Gamble. Let's see what that was. That's a 2. So it's a 3-7 for Gamble. And he will walk, and that walks in a run. So all of a sudden, Fydrich getting a little wild here. When you start talking to the ball again, that's going to force in a run. Cuts the lead to 2-1. There's still nobody out with the bases loaded. So Sox looking to make hay here. Here's Lamar Johnson. 6-9 against Fydrich. It's a ground ball shortstop A. 6-9 is a ground ball shortstop X. 6-8 was an A. Ground ball shortstop X means we're checking the defensive prowess of Verizon. And Verizon is a 3E27. 3E27. 3-12 is a G2, so we're going to get a fielder's choice possibility. And his error there is a 14. And he was an E27. So E27 and a 14. There is no 14, so it's going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice on that G2. So that will score the run. We got a tie game at 2. It also moves Zisk to third base. So we got runners at the corners with 1 out. And a tie game 2-2. Jim Spencer coming up. Tigers still playing double play depth because Spencer does hit into his fair share of double plays. 3-2. That's a ground ball pitcher B. So that will score the run and give the Sox the lead 3-2. Another fielder's choice 1-6. But Spencer beat it out on the relay to prevent the double play. And the Sox have now taken a 3-2 lead on the Bird here in the 6th inning. Brings up Soderholm. Spencer at first and 2 outs. He will not be held. 5-5. Fly ball to left, handled by Kemp. Inning's over, but it's a good one for the Sox. They pick up 3. And at the end of 5.5, it is Sox 3 and Tigers 2. And we'll keep an eye on Kemp because, again, on Knapp because he's already into his point of weakness inning. So bullpen could be close to being used here. Let's see. Kemp, the batter, against Knapp. 3-8 for Kemp. 3-8. All these hits in column 3, and he found a ground ball to first. So Kemp, 1 away. And that will bring up Jason Thompson. Let's move this over here a little bit more so you can see the cards a little bit better perhaps. Jason Thompson, the batter. 5-2 against a lefty. Would have been a ballpark diamond shot if we were playing super advanced, but here it's simply a fly to right that Zisk puts away at the track. So 2 down, just a loud out for Thompson. And that brings up Ogilvy. Oops, let's re-roll that white die that fell off on the side there. 5-9, that's a ground ball shortstop X, so we're checking Bannister again. He's passed a couple of tests, but how many times can he go to the well? 4 and a 16, he'll get it. And a 10, there's no error on a 10 on an E48, so good play. Bannister again, up to the task. And at the end of 6 complete, it is now the Sox 3 and the Tigers 2. And my, how things have changed in 1 inning. And since there was nothing there against Knapp, he's still good to go as far as fatigue goes. Now Fydrich is going to stay out there. He's the horse, so they're not going to take him out. Here's Essien. Leads off the 7th. 6-8 is a ground ball to short. And that's 1 away. Verizon makes the play. Brings up Ralph Garr. Leadoff man. Doubled his last trip. 1-7, and he's going to fly to center. So easily handled out there by LaFleur. 2 down for Alan Bannister. Shortstop. 3-7, and that's a solid single. So a solid base hit for Bannister. He's a D-stealer. He will not be held. George Orta, the batter. 6-4. 6-4 is a fly ball center field X. That's LaFleur. We'll check LaFleur's prowess. And LaFleur is a 3E12. So 3E12 for LaFleur in center. A 3 and a 10, I do believe that's an okay play. 3 and a 10 turns out to be an F2. And that's a 13. If I counted right, 13. And he is an E12. Center fielder. E12. No 13. There's a 15, but no 13. So it's a good play for LaFleur as he makes the catch and ends the inning. Nothing doing for the Sox here in the top of the 7th. We go to the 7th inning stretch. It is Chicago 3 and Detroit 2. No Harry Carey because we're in Detroit. I don't think the Tigers would appreciate that. So we're going to move on. Chris Knapp coming up. Now they do have left-hander Dave Hamilton in the bullpen ready to go if Knapp should falter. Now let's look at the Tiger bench because they got some weak hitters coming up. They may want to possibly consider doing some pinch hitting here. And I think they will for Scrivener. So Scrivener's day is done. Greiser's going to lead off, but Scrivener's day is done. And they're going to have Phil Mankowski pinch hit for Scrivener after Greiser hits. And he'll stay in the game to play third base. Mankowski, a 4E21, but he did hit .276 on the season. So he's on deck as the pinch hitter. Right now it's Greiser taking on Knapp. 3-4. 3-4. He's going to ground it to third. Easy play for Soderholm. One away. And now that'll bring up Mankowski, the pinch hitter and new third baseman. Mankowski. 6-6 against the lefty, and he walks him. Big thing because a 6-6 against the righty would have been a strikeout. So the fact he's facing a lefty turns into a walk. So that pinch hitting move helped out. So Ralph Houck made the good move there. And now we're back to Bruce Kim, and he's the personal catcher for Fydrich. But I tell you what, when you're behind like this, I think you'd want to pinch hit for him. So we're going to pinch hit for Kim, much to the chagrin of Fydrich. He'll get over it. And Milt May, the catcher, or one of the other main catcher, will pinch hit Milt May. So Milt May is going to be the new hitter, and he'll also take over as the catcher because they need to do that down by the run. All right, so Milt May on there facing Chris Knapp. 3-11 for May, and he fouls out to the catcher. He fouls out to Essien for 2 down, so did not help them there, but we got Ron LaFleur coming up. 2 outs and a runner still at first in Mankowski. And Mankowski, his run rating is an E, so he's not even being held. LaFleur, 6-6, struck him out, so Knapp hanging in there, pitches 7 strong. And they may just turn it over to the bullpen at this point. 7 strong for Knapp. That's probably all you're going to get out of him. He's only a 5 rated, so getting 7 strong out of Knapp certainly did the trick. And we go to the 8th, and it'll be Richie Zisk. And let's see if Fydrich is affected by tossing to a new battery mate in Milt May. See if he loses his comfort zone. Here's Zisk. 3-4. Ground ball back to Fydrich, so that didn't seem to bother him. 1 away. That'll bring up Oscar Gamble. And there's no activity in the Tiger bullpen. They're letting Fydrich go. Gamble, 4-12 against Fydrich. It's a ground ball first base X. That's Thompson. He's a 4E16 for Jason Thompson. 4 and a 16, he'll get to that now. E16 and a 15. No error. There's a 16 there and a 17, but no 15. So it's good play for Jason Thompson. 2 up, 2 down for Lamar Johnson against Fydrich. 2-6 for Lamar Johnson, and that is a 1 as a triple. Anything else will be a single. So Lamar Johnson will get that 2-out single. And that'll send it up to Jim Spencer. Spencer, the batter. .512, that's a ground ball first base X. We're back to Jason Thompson again, a 4E16. So far he's been up to the task. And that D20 has been helpful. It's been a high number, so he'll get to that. E16 and a 10. I don't believe there's an error there. No, there's not. So Thompson will make the play. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Still a 3-2 ball game. And now it looks to be, let's see, Fuentes, Staub. Yep, the lefty's going to come in for the Sox. It's going to be Dave Hamilton, the lefty, out of the pen, as we have switch hitter Fuentes followed by 2 lefties, Staub and Kemp. So Dave Hamilton will be coming on. Knapp pitched very well. 7 innings and only 2 runs. And I'll do the rest later. But 7 innings, 2 runs, and he did face 28 batters. That's probably his limit when he's a 5 fatigue rating. So Hamilton now is on, and in the 77 season, he was 4-5, 3.61 ERA with 9 saves. So he's not just a lefty specialist, but certainly they're playing it that way for now. And now we're looking off the blue side of the batter cards, so I gotta make sure they're more in focus. The blue side. So here we go. Fuentes, switch hitter, turning around to bat right-handed. And that's a stack, so I gotta re-roll that. That's an illegal roll, it's a foul ball. So now we got a 4-8. Hamilton against a right-hander, 4-8, and that's a leadoff walk. Not what you wanted to do. Fuentes is a D stealer though, so he will not be held. And Rusty Staub, the batter. See if they can turn 2 off a Staub. 4-5. No, he struck him out, so that's almost as good as a double play. Got Staub on the strikeout. And here's Kemp. Kemp and Thompson and Ogilvy, so a bunch of lefties in a row. Whoops, let's re-roll the Whitey. That didn't make it far enough. 2-8. 2-8 against a lefty. Struck him out. So Kemp down on strikes. And it's up to Jason Thompson to get it done. 5-4. 5-4 would have been a home run chance in a ballpark, a super advanced, but on the advanced, it's simply a deep fly to right. Zisk puts it away. And the 8th inning's in the books. Score still remains. The White Sox 3 and the Tigers 2. And we go to the 9th. And I think we might get a new pitcher for the Tigers. I think it's going to be all for the bird. We're going to go ahead and turn it over to right-hander Steve Grilly. And Grilly, his numbers, 1-2, 4.83 ERA. Did have 2 starts, but also, of course, he does have that relief rating as well. So Grilly is in. They don't have Falcout available. He's their closer, but he is not on the active roster, so don't know if he was ailing or what was going on, but he is not available. So Grilly is coming on. Fydrich goes 8 innings and gives up 3 runs, so certainly a quality start. And he faced 34 batters. All right, so now we have Grilly facing Soderholm to start the 9th. Sox lead it 3-2. Looking for some insurance. 2-12. It's hit by the pitch, so Soderholm gets plunked. First batter faced by Grilly, and they plunk Soderholm. So how about that? Essien's up. He's a B bunter. They could try to sacrifice. They are going to try to sacrifice. He turns into a C bunter because they're expecting it. So we go to our advanced bunt chart and look under the C column. It's a C bunter. Rolling 2 D6s. Ooh, 12. That could be trouble. C and a 12. Batter pops into a double play. Runner on third is out. Other runners hold. Oh, okay. So there's no runner on third. I'm looking at a squeeze play. My bad. Let me go over here. Duh. Batter pops into double play. Lead runner is out. How about that? So it's a pop up to the catcher. So Essien's going to pop it up to the new catcher, Milt May, who makes the play and then fires to first to get Soderholm off the bag. So it's a 2-2-3 double play. And quickly 2 away with the bases clear. So that 12 on the 2D6 has really hurt him there. Here's Gar. 3-2. He's going to foul out to Milt May. So new catcher comes in. He gets all the defensive chances, it seems like. The ball just finds you if you're a new fielder. So bottom of the 9th we go. It'll be Ogilvy to lead us off against Hamilton, followed by Verizon and Mankowski. Now Mankowski is not very good against lefties, so they might have to pinch hit for him as well. We'll see. I don't think they have a whole lot on the bench left to pinch hit. They do have Wackenfuss, Aurelio Rodriguez. It's a couple of righties. They do have Mickey Stanley. So they've got some options here. Ogilvy, pretty good hitter, so you're not going to pinch hit for him. But they may pinch hit for Verizon. So let's take a look here. Right now it's Ogilvy, lefty on lefty against Hamilton. 4-7. 4-7 is a leadoff walk. So again, not what they wanted to do, a leadoff walk. And Ogilvy, C. Steeler will be held. Now Verizon could stay into bunt because he is a B bunter. So I think they're going to do that. They're going to leave him into bunt. He's a C. He'll be a C bunter. They'll try to avoid this 12 on this 2d6s. A 6, that probably is a good play. Seeing the 6 batters thrown out by third baseman, runner advances, so its sacrifice hit is successful. 5-4, order covering, and Ogilvy will make it to second base. So now he is at second with 1 out, and Phil Mankowski the batter, but he is going to be called back because they want that right-hander in there. So off the Tiger bench will come John Wockenfuss. So John Wockenfuss will be on to pinch hit. So Wockenfuss will pinch hit here in a big spot, and it's column 3 against lefties is dangerous. The Sox also have their closer, one of their other closers, Laren LeGros, loosening just in case. But here's Wockenfuss against Hamilton. 1-7, and he struck him out, so Wockenfuss found a bad one there. 1-7 is a strikeout, a big strikeout for out number 2. And Mankowski on a 1-7 would have also struck out. So Mankowski would have also got the strikeout. So in that case, 1-7, it didn't matter who you had, pretty much. It was going to be an out. So down to their last out, Milt May is scheduled to bat. Don't know if they want to have him bat. Although he does have a pretty good column 1. So if he can find his column 1, he's got a good shot. The only other alternative they have is Aurelio Rodriguez or Mickey Stanley. Stanley hit 230 on the season, but he does have some good numbers against lefties. So I think they're going to go ahead and pinch hit with Mickey Stanley. If it does go extra innings, you got Wockenfuss to catch. So Mickey Stanley is going to pinch hit for Milt May as the wheels are turning. Of course, Bob Lemon could counter with Laren LeGros, but I think they're going to go ahead and stick with Hamilton, see if he can get the job done here against Mickey Stanley. 3-7. 1-4 is a single with only 1 star, so would not score the run. 5-20, he lines to Bannister, and the ball game is over. So even if it's a 1-4, the inning just continues. It's not a tie game. And it's a 10, so that's going to do it. Liner right to Bannister. And Dave Hamilton does the job. And the White Sox cling to a 3-2 victory in game 1 of the series. Excellent pitching. They got the bird in that 1 inning, and that was all they needed. 3-2 the final. I guess I can do some totals here on the fly. Hamilton went 2 innings to get the save. Well-earned save for Hamilton. The win goes to Knapp. So let's check the hits allowed by Knapp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits allowed by Knapp. What about Mr. Hamilton? He allowed no hits. So Tigers only got 2 runs and 5 hits, no errors. Sox made no errors. Clean game defensively for them, which helped. All right, hits for the White Sox against the Bird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got him. 8, 9. So 9 hits against Fydrich. And Grilly in his 1 inning gave up no hits other than he hit a batter. That was the only hit, was that he hit a batter. So total hits 9 for the Sox. And of course the loser was Mark Fydrich. Grilly goes 1 inning, faces the 3 batters. He got the double play ball after the hit by pitch. So no problems there. We'll check Fydrich's walks and strikeouts. 1 strikeout. 2 strikeouts, 3, 4 strikeouts and a walk. 4 strikeouts and a walk 4 and 3 walks. I got him for 4 and 3 walks. So 3 walks and 4 strikeouts is what I have unofficially. Now let's go to Knapp and look at his. Well, Hamilton, first of all, is batters faced for Hamilton. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batters faced. And I don't know if he gave up anything. He gave up a walk, 2 walks, and that was it. No hits. 2 walks, and he struck out 3. So big things there by getting those strikeouts. And let's check the runs. And both runs were earned for Tigers. Let's check walks and strikeouts for Knapp. 1 strikeout, 2, and a walk. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Let's check left on base for the Sox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got him for 7 unofficially. And for the Tigers, left on base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got them for 7 left on. All right, so unofficially, this is what we have. White Sox defeat the Tigers here on July 8th in Game 1 of the series by the score of 3-2. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Sox, 7 left on. For the Tigers, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 7 left on. Winning pitcher was Chris